A $300 habit almost never looks like a $300 habit. It looks like a coffee, a delivery fee, a quick stop at the store, a subscription you meant to cancel, and one tiny purchase that feels completely reasonable because, honestly, the day was annoying. That is the trap. Nobody wakes up and says, I think I'll quietly spend $3,600 this year on things I barely remember. But a lot of people do exactly that. Not because they're stupid, not because they don't understand money, because small spending wears a disguise. It doesn't show up as waste, it shows up as relief. And relief is very easy to defend. So let's follow one person through one normal month. We'll call her Jamie. Jamie brings home $5,800 a month after taxes. Not rich, not broke, just normal middle-class math. Rent takes $2,100. Car payment and insurance take $700. Debt minimums take $400. Groceries, gas, phone, utilities, and the other regular bills take about $1,900. So on paper, Jamie has around $700 left. That should feel like breathing room, but watch what happens. Day 3. Jamie has a rough morning. Coffee is $6, no big deal. Day 5. Lunch from home sounds sad, so lunch becomes $14. Day 7. Delivery after work is $31 because cooking feels like a personal attack. Day 10. A subscription renews for $19. Jamie sees it, frowns for half a second, and then life keeps moving. Day 13. She runs into the store for toothpaste. Somehow toothpaste brings friends. Now it's toothpaste, snacks, and a candle that had no business being that convincing. $42. And here is where the month gets sneaky. Nothing looks careless. There is no yacht. There is no luxury watch, just normal little purchases. The kind you can explain in one sentence. That is why they survive. By day 15, Jamie has spent about $112 on things that did not feel like spending. They felt like getting through the week, and that is the first trap. The $300 habit feels too small to matter until it becomes a pattern. One coffee is not the problem. One lunch is not the problem. One delivery order is not the problem. The problem is when all the little "it's fine" purchases start holding hands. Suddenly they are a pattern, and the pattern shows up every month. This is where your brain plays a trick on you. It judges each purchase alone. $6? Fine. $14? Fine. $31? Not ideal, but fine. $19 subscription? Annoying, but fine. But your bank account does not experience them one at a time. Your bank account experiences the group project. And the group project is $300. Maybe yours is $180. Maybe it's $500. The exact number matters less than the pattern. $300 a month is $3,600 a year. And $3,600 is real money. It's a car repair fund. It's several credit card payments. It's a cushion. It's the difference between an emergency being annoying and an emergency wrecking your month. Now pause right there, because this is where people hear small spending and start bracing for the lecture. They think the answer is going to be, never buy coffee again, eat rice, become a spreadsheet with shoes. No, that's not the point. The point is not to remove every small joy from your life. The point is to stop overpaying for forgettable relief. Some spending gives you a memory. Some spending gives you connection. Some spending makes your life better in a way you can actually feel tomorrow. And some spending gives you a bag, a receipt, and the exact same stress 40 minutes later. Those are different things. The second trap is that the $300 habit usually has a job. It is not just spending, it is mood repair. Jamie is not buying delivery because she thinks noodles are ruining her finances. She's buying delivery because Thursday punched her in the forehead. Long commute, too many meetings. One email that started with "just circling back," which is how adults say, "I'm about to ruin your afternoon." By the time she gets home, the delivery app does not look like a luxury. It looks like a way to get through the night. And this matters, because if the habit is doing an emotional job, math alone won't kill it. You can tell yourself, "I won't order delivery this week." But if Thursday is still Thursday, the habit will come back wearing a different hat. So the better question is not, why am I bad with money? The better question is, what was this purchase trying to fix? Was it fixing stress, boredom, decision fatigue, the feeling that you're working hard and somehow still behind? That question is annoying, mostly because it works. For Jamie, Thursday delivery is not really about food. It's about having no easy default when she is exhausted. So the replacement cannot be a fantasy. It cannot be, from now on, I will cook a perfect dinner every night. Absolutely not. Thursday Jamie does not have that energy. Thursday Jamie needs something boring and ready. Frozen meal, leftovers, sandwich, whatever works. The replacement has to meet the same emotional need with less damage. That is the third trap. People try to replace emotional spending with discipline. You don't need a better speech, you need a better default. Because the $300 habit lives in the gap between planning you and tired you. Planning you says, we're going to be responsible. Thursday you says, interesting. Anyway, where's my phone? So make the responsible choice easier before Thursday you get to the microphone. This is where tiny friction helps. Delete the saved card from the delivery app. Make a store list before walking into the little building where toothpaste somehow becomes $42. Leave the online cart alone for 24 hours. Not forever, just long enough for the spell to wear off. Small friction beats big motivation. Motivation says, I will become a new person on Monday. Friction says, maybe don't make buying stuff easier than thinking. The fourth trap is that the $300 habit steals margin before it steals wealth. Most people hear $300 and think, that won't make me rich. True. Saving $300 a month probably will not turn you into someone who says, my boat guy. But wealth is not the first thing missing. Margin is. Margin is the boring space between your life and panic, and boring space is wildly underrated. Watch Jamie again. By day 22, the little purchases are at $236. Still not dramatic. Then the car makes a sound. Not a normal sound. A sound with punctuation. The mechanic says it's $430. Jamie has $160 left, so $270 goes on the credit card. Now the old month follows her into the new month. The paycheck arrives, but it has a tiny ghost attached to it. The ghost is called last month, and the ghost charges interest. The coffee didn't ruin Jamie's finances. The delivery didn't ruin Jamie's finances. The candle did not sneak into the garage and break the car, but the missing margin made the surprise more expensive. That is the part people miss. Small leaks don't always sink the boat. Sometimes they just make sure the boat never gets dry. And after a while, being damp feels normal. The fifth trap is identity. It is about the version of yourself the thing seems to prove. Coffee before work says, I'm a productive adult. Lunch out says, I'm doing okay. Brunch says, I have a normal social life. The Target run says, my life is slightly more together now. And nobody wants a budget that makes them feel smaller. So the $300 habit becomes a way to look fine. It helps you look fine. Even when your bank account is saying, can we maybe not? Comparison makes it worse because you don't copy one person's life. You copy pieces, one friend's restaurants, another friend's clothes, a coworker's apartment, someone else's weekend trip. Then you try to fund 4 versions of normal with one paycheck. So the goal is not to stop spending. The goal is to choose the spending that actually belongs to you. If coffee with a friend is the best hour of your week, keep it. If the random subscription has not improved your life since 2022, cancel it. But if delivery is just the default because Thursday keeps ambushing you, build a better Thursday. Your budget does not need to become joyless. It needs to become honest. And honesty starts with making the blurry thing visible. So here's the one action. This week, find your $300 habit. Look at the last 30 days. Search for the tiny repeats. Coffee, delivery, store runs, subscriptions, apps. Anything you bought because the day was heavy and the purchase was easy. Put those into one pile, not to shame yourself. just to see the shape. Then ask one question. Which of these actually paid me back? In energy, in less stress, in connection, in real enjoyment. The ones that paid you back can stay. The ones you barely remember are the leak. Pick one leak, just one. Give it a boring default. Thursday gets an easy dinner. The store gets a list. The cart waits 24 hours. The goal is not to become cheap. The goal is to become harder to quietly drain. Because $300 does not look like freedom when it leaves one swipe at a time. But it can feel like freedom when it stays. At the beginning, the $300 habit looked like nothing. A coffee, a delivery fee, a quick stop, a tiny subscription. But now you can see the trick. The habit was never just the purchase. It was the pattern. And once you can see the pattern, you can interrupt it. If this helped you spot a money trap that was hiding in plain sight, subscribe to Smart Money Doodles. Next, we'll keep drawing the weird little ways money disappears before it ever gets a chance to make life easier.